considering
Yeah.
that there might be some few new people who might be there. So for
Mhm.
them,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
Marin from Bangalore, and I have been in the field of academics past almost 20 years.
Great.
And
Interesting.
yeah, so I do have my experience in academics, training, corporate training, campus to corporate
Mm-hmm.
training for students, teacher training.
Mm-hmm.
I've created like content creation. I'm also into that for various national and international organizations. So that's about me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sibu
Thank
and Emmanuel, are you there? You can hear me. Can you introduce yourself? And then maybe just in a minute, we will begin. Yes, good evening, Deepak. Okay, so yes, this is an attempt to bring more awareness of what are the latest developments happening in the field of education. Yes, this is our first session, and definitely we will be taking one session every month for the teachers across India. I have a community of teachers for whom I have done offline trainings on team building and leadership and stuff. So they would be joining in the upcoming trainings. Yes, so this is what the plan is. And Kavita is a corporate trainer. She has been training the corporates past 12 years, right, Kavita?
17 years.
17 years. Oh, sorry. It is 17 years, 12 plus 5. So, Kavita is very much interested in imparting knowledge in education, and she voluntarily came up that no, let's take this topic for the teachers, and that is how we are taking this first session. So, Kavita, would you like to say something, speak about yourself?
Sure, Elvis. Thank you so much. And after I say about myself, should I hand it back to you so that you give some intro?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do that, or shall I go in one
No, no,
flow?
you can take off.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Elvis. Hello to all the change makers here, teachers, trainers, coaches, mentors, whoever is there on this virtual session today. I am from Mysore, the cultural capital of Karnataka. It's just about 2 hours away from Bangalore. It's like the satellite city to Bangalore. I have been in this profession of corporate training, especially to do with soft skills, the communication skills, and also POSH enablement, that is prevention of sexual harassment at the workplace for women. These two are my core areas. And if you want to know more about what I do, you can check out my social media handles on Instagram, Kavita, Kavita _M.Prakash. And you can just check on Google Maps to find Kavita M. Prakash, TTM Corporate Trainer. It's very easy to locate me. And once you're connected, you can also check out all my photos and about all the work that I do. I also do one-to-one trainings for people who want to improve their personal communication. I've also been a certified counselor, an NLP practitioner, and an energy healer. And I've been working a lot towards my spiritual evolution. I believe that is why I'm here on this planet. And my mission is to connect with more and more people and spread this, the essence of why we are here, of being itself. And yeah, I love to travel anywhere. And I love to travel for adventure, pleasure, and also on work. I generally travel on opium. Not the opium, which is a drug, but this opium is OPM, other people's money. And this profession has taken me to many, many places, has enabled me to connect with many people, wonderful people. Elvis is one such person, and I appreciate his, ability and his purpose of empowering people around him. I really appreciate that, because I think that's one wavelength that actually synced with both of us. All right. So this is pretty much me in a nutshell. And I try to see how I can work towards, enabling and empowering people all around me all the time. Another fun fact, I'm a Toastmaster, which is a platform for practicing public speaking, communication skills, and leadership skills. I've been with this organization for 8 years now, and have tried and experimented a lot of things on stage, and I've had a lot of fun being a Toastmaster. It's another of my passions. I think you can call it an addiction. I may miss breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but I wouldn't miss a Toastmasters meeting. And I have interacted with people from nearly 100 countries across borders because of the Toastmasters platform. And I've also traveled widely because of this platform. So my gratitude for all the mercies and bounties that have been conferred upon me, and the potential that I have developed. So I would like to thank again Elvis D'Silva for connecting with me to do this for teachers who I respect from the bottom of my heart, and IAM trainings for this initiative. It's a very noble initiative. So I have a very deep connection with teachers, and I believe a lot of them do come because they want to make a difference. Very few come because they want a job for a job's sake. But most of them really have it in their heart that they want to touch the lives of children. Some are trained, some are trained only for the certification's sake, but they haven't actually implemented it for various reasons. I find such teachers in schools and colleges when I meet them. So I would like to support those teachers to take them forward, understand the essence of why they are here in the teaching profession. So this is essentially what encapsulates all the things that I do. So can I see all these change makers? I would like to see your faces. Can you please come on camera? Yeah, this is one of the ground rules for my session. So if you're in unpresentable clothes, you can just wear a simple t-shirt and come. Informal clothes also work here in this session. I want your presence, and I want you to be here mindfully, because we're going to do a lot of interactive activities which revolves around creativity and also your engagement. And please have a pen and paper with you. I always have it. Even if I'm presenting, I always make notes. And I've written down all your names here so that I remember to call out and talk to you personally. Well, so can we have a minute when you can do both these? Be on camera with some presentable outfit, and pick up a pen and paper immediately. Okay. Elvis, would you like to add something here?
Just a question to everyone, like, are you all comfortable with English, or anyone for Hindi? Anyone who's not comfortable, very comfortable with English?
Okay, Narita has a thumbs up.
Ibu,
English is okay for her.
Flute, Sweta, Lincia, Emmanuel, Kila, Deepak. Is English okay with everyone? Okay, I think I'm in another work, but didn't want to miss reference. Okay. There are some messages on the chat. Okay, everyone is saying yes, so
Everyone's saying
we
yes.
can continue. Yes. Yes, Kavita.
Okay, great. All right. So I have a little icebreaker activity to challenge you. And I hope you can take about 5 minutes initially to work on this. That's exactly why I wanted you to have a paper and pen. And you can call out the answer once the 5 minutes is done. Okay. All right. So how many of you solve word puzzles? Please respond on the chat box.
Could you come back, Kavita?
How many of you solve word puzzles?
Okay, word puzzles.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's an answer, sometimes, rarely. Shweta says that.
Okay.
Rarely these days.
Okay, rarely.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the others? Come on, guys. Okay. Sometime, rarely, yes. Okay, good response. It's a mixed bag. No problem. It's not that I'm expecting you to be, fluent with that. This is just a little challenge because I love challenges, and that's how I have developed myself. And so I have posted a crypto quip. I'm a crypto quip compiler, and I have posted a puzzle on the chat window. It will just take about 30 seconds to copy it exactly how it is. And please copy every line with a spacing in between, and then go through the instructions. And then I have also given clues. You can solve it by deciphering. So go through that, transfer it onto a sheet of paper, and then you ask me any questions that arise while you're going through that. I will clarify. That sounds good for everyone?
Guys, everyone has understood what has to be done. If not clear, Kavita can repeat it.
All right,
Kavita, could you come back once again? Maybe just simplify it a little more.
I will do that. I have posted a crypto quip. Crypto means something that is coded. Quip is to do with a quiz kind of thing. So I have compiled, it is a substitution cipher. That means every letter has to be substituted with a letter clue that I have given. Okay. I've also given clear instructions. The instructions are very simple and basic. All that I want you to do is copy that crypto quip sentence onto a sheet of paper. And while you do it, please give some spacing between the lines. Okay. And above each of the letters that I have given, you have to substitute the letters that I have given in the clue.
Okay.
That is step 2.
So what about the things that have not been given? Can they remain the same?
No, they will have to be guessed.
Okay.
Okay.
We
Good
need to
question.
guess the pattern, right?
So if one letter is substituting another letter, it remains throughout the sentence. The same letter will substitute for all the letters when it appears again and again. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I have given 5 clues, letter substitution clues. Can you acknowledge?
It is X equals O.
Correct.
It will equal O throughout. Okay. Short words and words using a apostrophe. Give you clues to locating languages.
Okay. Shweta, are you able to get it? Akila?
U equals T, S equals H, A equals A.
I guess the second word is something like gentle or something like that.
H equals E.
No.
Okay.
First
let
word is
me-
there. THERE there.
THE, you got it. Okay, great. So wherever you find that letter, substitute it with E. H equals E.
So if S equals H, then we have to substitute again H again to E, right? Oh, okay.
I like that, Akila. This is called discovery and the wow, aha moments. So Narita, how has it been going for you?
Me, first I got like one word that is the, THED. But then
Very good.
again, when it says H has to be again replaced by E, everything is changing again.
No, it won't change again. What you replace is what it is. But in the question, if there's an H, then you have to replace it. That's it.
Okay. The thing is, like, once you replace S with H, right, it will create confusion again, like, which is the H, which are the H what you have replaced, and which are the ones which were already there.
No, substitute only the ones that were already there.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, just one time substitution.
So
What you
substitutions,
write is the answer. You don't have to change it.
the substitutions are only the one, those 5 letters, right?
Correct.
U,
And the
S,
rest
K.
you have to fill in the gaps, the rest of it.
Okay.
How's it going for you, Elvis?
Yeah, trying hard.
Okay, good. Cross-check before you actually start the substitution. You may have missed out some letters. Just cross-check once. If it's a physical session, I would always prefer to give a printout.
Okay.
However, here we have that limitation, but no problem. It's a simple one.
Okay. So the other replacements are we decide, right?
Yes, you decide.
Okay.
You have to kind of guess, just like she discovered H
Okay.
and the word THE. I had given T and E. Now she guessed the H.
But it cannot conflict with the ones already given down, right? Like,
No.
it may be same like those. Okay.
Right. So whatever you write will be the answer. While my online virtual participants are exercising their brains over the crypto quiz, for the YouTube audience, I would just like to say a couple of things. And people have joined in just now. Okay. So I'm going to give you about 5 more minutes because it took you a little time to understand what exactly you have to do. So 5 more minutes on working out the guessing game. For the YouTube audience, we are playing a little game called Crypto Quip. Crypto means something that is encoded. Quip is like a quiz or a challenge. And I am a Crypto Quip compiler. This is a substitution cipher. That means there is a sentence which has a message, a very deep-rooted message. And I have substituted the letters for each of the word in the sentence. And they have to figure out which letter is substituted by which other letter. I have given them some clues already. 5 clues I have given. So they already know 5 of the letters. That will actually take care of quite a bit of the sentence. And they have to fill in the other letters by guessing, looking at how the words are formed in English. They're pretty simple. And my audience is putting pen to paper and trying to think what it could be about. All right, so Mona just joined in. So Mona, can you just say a hi?
Hi.
Right, so Mona, are you up for game?
No idea actually.
Okay, yeah. So I have given a challenge. I have reposted challenge on the chat window. I wanted you to copy it onto a paper and then follow the instructions given there. And then you can keep trying because the rest are already set out on that.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Should we also replace X with O?
X with O. 1 second. Let me check.
The initial example you gave, right? So we don't have to replace X with O.
But no, why are you asking we don't have to replace?
No, I'm just asking you, should we or not?
You should.
Okay, got it.
If you got the answer, you should.
I've just got one word.
Very good.
I
What
guess
is that word?
I guess people have already got the, so I just got that repeatedly in the sentence. The.
Very good. Very good. So there are how many the's? 1, 2. And there are 2 more words which are slightly extended the.
Yeah.
So
The
guess those
extended
2 other letters? Yeah.
It could mean
Team.
there or there. THEIR
Correct.
or THCRE.
It can't be THERE. Use some logic because
Can be team.
the same letter is not repeated. Right? So
Yeah.
it is THEIR.
Yeah,
Good guess.
correct.
Good guesswork. Yeah, come on.
Correct.
Think aloud.
So that leaves us M as I. So we can replace lots of words with that.
Correct, correct. So replace everywhere you find those letters and see if you can figure out something. That's good. Good progress. Elvis,
Thank
where
you.
are you?
I am still trying.
I got another
But
word.
is there any like sensible word that we need to get out of it? Or
Sorry?
is there any like meaningful word that has to come out, or it is?
Yes, meaningful English words
Okay.
and a proper English sentence.
Okay.
Is there word is, is?
Is no.
IZ I got, so.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay, Ankita is saying 2 word is whom.
OF.
Okay, is that right?
XG is OF.
Okay, and Shaker wants you to repeat the question.
Okay, I will repeat the question. Please copy the CryptoQuip sentence that I have posted on the chat box. Please confirm if you can see it. Okay, so if you can't see, then I think Elvis, can you repost it?
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, I have reposted it.
Thank you so much. Okay. So for someone who joined just now, you give it a try, and then we will definitely give you the answer so that you can work it out later. All right? Yeah. So the 5 minutes is up, and even if you've got 25% of the crypto quip, it is good. How much have you solved? Have you substituted all the clues that I've given you?
Yeah, I have substituted all of them.
Very good.
Okay, Kavita. Someone has given the answer. Human beings, by changing the inner attitudes of their minds,
That's
can
me.
change the outer aspects of their lives.
Correct. Okay. All right. So can you repost it? Because I think I sent it on your personal email.
Okay, that is you have answered, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'll send it to everyone.
Yeah, I will do that. I'll do
Okay,
that.
done. It's done.
Okay, great. Okay, so yes, all of you can go through it. The answer. What do you think about this statement?
Statement is great, but decoding is very tough. I could have
Okay, no
decoded
problem.
it in
If you
one
could not
go.
decode, it's okay. You can do it later also. But now I have given you the answer. So just tell me what you understood by the statement.
If we change our internal world, we can change our outside world also. So all
Okay.
starts from us.
Okay. Merin, you have something to say. Please speak.
Yes. So recently I had posted something related to attitude. So we all have different perception about attitude, but having the right inner attitude speaks about our mind, what we are. If we have the
Okay.
right attitude, we can change our outer selves.
Okay, great. That's a nice inference. Thank you so much for sharing. Anyone else would like to share? Elvis, what are your thoughts about this sentence?
I think it's like a puzzle. So if we bring things at the right place, the things streamline and the picture is very clear.
Okay, super. That's about discovering clarity in your life, isn't it, Elvis?
Right.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Great job, people. You can still continue solving this later. Just hide the answer from yourself and then try to decipher it and get cross-check with the answer. That's fine. But what I was trying so far was putting you through a process of discovery and the effort that is required, right? It was a challenge to figure out how to fill in the gaps. There were so many letters that we did not know.
Right.
Isn't it? Yes. Okay. So you were actually put through a process of trying to figure out, when you know some parts of the jigsaw puzzle, how do you put the rest of the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle? This is a hip pocket skill. Hip pocket skills are those that give you an edge over the others.
Right.
Do you all think hip pocket skills are essential for life? Hip pocket skills, I repeat, are skills that give you an edge over the others. Do you think, is it essential?
Yes, definitely, I think, because it helps you in problem solving. It also helps you in conflict resolution.
Very good.
So, yeah, I think it is very, very important.
Very good.
These are basically life skills, I think. It helps you in your daily
Absolutely.
life skills.
Yes, Elvis, I agree with you. And we, as a generation, I think most of you must have crossed 2025 here. isn't it? Yes. So you have a very, very substantial experience of life. You must have seen challenges. You must have overcome them. And that's your life journey, isn't it? And that's the discovery that we have to present to the children or the participants that we engage. And if you're a teacher, you could be engaging various demographics, right? From 5-year-olds to 15-year-olds. And each one has a different psychology at a different level. And it is our skill to be able to decipher what is the interpretation of a certain behavior and not draw a judgment, but see how we can help them out. Well, and that's simply why I love teachers and I respect them a lot, especially trainers, coaches, and mentors. They are angels to different people around them. And I'm always fascinated by this one sentence, a quote from the olden times. It's an anonymous quote. It takes a village to grow a child. It's a very simple sentence, probably a folk statement. It takes a village to grow a child. All that it means, in essence, is that it is not just one person or two people who will help a child to develop holistically, but it is an ecosystem of various people from different backgrounds to help the child to develop. We all saw that. It is from our experience, right? We interacted with the sabjiwala, we interacted with the air hostess in the plane, we interacted with the ticket issuer at the bus station, and we interacted with the principal of a school, we interacted with the housekeeping staff. We interacted with all of these and we take away from those interactions, right? So everyone comprises an ecosystem for each individual's development. That is what this statement means. I repeat the statement. It takes a village to grow a child. That's one part. Now let this keep running at the back of. Now I'm just going to explain a few words that are generally used in English and also in India. Okay. So first, let me take the words that are less familiar to us. For example, the word adhyapaka is someone who gives us information. Okay. And the word upadhyaya is someone who imparts knowledge and information. He actually interacts with us and makes an effort to impart the knowledge to his participants. Adhyapak only shares the information. There's a difference between the two. Now let us see other words. Acharya is someone who imparts skills, like we heard of Dronacharya from the Mahabharata. So this is the next level of imparting skills. And then there is a Pandita. Pandita is a subject matter expert. So someone who has a deep knowledge about the subject. And then there is a Drishta, who is a visionary, someone like Elvis. He has a big vision to change the lives of so many people and empower them. So that's a Drishta. And then we have Guru, who leads us to wisdom. Now, what is wisdom? Wisdom is application of knowledge or information. To just make it simple for you, you all know that tomato is a fruit. Scientifically, it is a fruit. But do we use that in a fruit salad? No, because it doesn't go well in a fruit salad. We use it more as a vegetable in our curries. Now that is wisdom, application of knowledge, right? And wisdom is actually something that is very profound. It comes with discovery. And we just went through a little process of discovery, and that aha moment which you got. Even if you found just one word by discovering one word between the two already known letters, you were very happy about it, isn't it? This is what challenges enable us, empower us. And then, are you familiar with all these words? Which one did you know earlier among the 6 words that I talked about? Adhyapaka, Upadhyaya, Acharya, Pandita, Drishta, and Guru. Can someone unmute and tell me if you're familiar with any of these words?
Hi, Kavita. Yes, I'm familiar. I'm sorry, my camera is like, there's no
No
electricity.
problem, Shweta. Go on, go on.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're
So,
interacting.
since I've studied Sanskrit and Kannada, I've heard these words. Yes, Kavita.
You've heard these words. Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Anyone else?
Yes, being a teacher, we usually come across Adhyapaka, Upadhyaya, Acharya, Pandita.
Correct.
Of course, Guru as well, but Drishta, like, it's something like not heard for a long time. So happy to know that.
Okay, wonderful. So you knew some and now you know some more, isn't it?
Ma'am,
That's the moment of discovery again. Yeah, someone else is responding. Please go
ma'am,
ahead.
are Adhyapika and Shikshika interchangeable?
Adhyapaka and Shikshaka. Shikshaka is more of Upadhyaya because they impart the knowledge and skills. Adhyapak is just one who gives information. Like it could be a lecture, a one-way lecture. That is Adhyapaka. Upadhyaya actually interacts with the students and imparts, makes them understand things. That is the Upadhyaya. Okay, good. I love the
Kavita, your
question.
camera has gone off. We're not able
Yes.
to see you. Your camera is off.
Oh, okay, right.
Are you able to see Kavita? Okay,
Now you
it's
can see me?
come back. Yes.
Okay, great. Anyone else who would like to share if they understood the essence of these terms? How about Shekhar, Akila? Ankita?
Like Adhyapaka and Guru, Acharya, those terms I have heard, but the other terms were new to.
Okay, wonderful. So now you know what differentiates each of these terms, isn't it? Meena?
Yes, even though I know those words, but I today only I just know the difference in that
Wonderful.
meaning.
That's really so
The
nice.
Pandita and everything. Okay.
Very good. Okay. So you are definitely either one of them, of all the 5 or 6 words that I gave you. And I would want you to become a drishta, a visionary for your participants. If you are an acharya or a pandita, it's great. If you're an adhyapak or an upadhyaya, it's great. But besides being this, I want you also to be a drishta, a visionary. You getting my point, I hope? Yes. All right. So now there are English words which mostly we have heard rampantly. These 4 words are trainer, coach, mentor, and counselor. Can you just write down these 4 words? Trainer, coach, mentor, and counselor. Okay, let me know once you've written. Okay, so have you written these 4 words? Trainer, coach, mentor, and counselor? Okay, can someone tell me is there a difference between the 4 of these, or are all these the same?
A lot of difference, I would say, amongst each of them. So, trainer is mostly who, speaks like 50% and listens 50%. Coaching is more about 20% of talking and 80% of listening. And mentoring is like giving suggestions and overseeing. And a counselor is making people come to an understanding. I mean, making them come through a solution by themselves.
Okay, wonderful. That's a very nice understanding. Thank you so much. Okay, so I will give you this 4 words, and further on we will talk about the 4 pillars of education. Right? This was something very crucial that I wanted you to understand. So I will tell what I have observed, and essentially this is what generally teachers, coaches, mentors, and counselors do. Now, a trainer is one who imparts a skill practically, and a teacher is someone who imparts knowledge. A coach is someone who enhances the performance, like a sports coach. A mentor is one who enhances the perception of his participants. And a counselor enhances the behavioral aspect of his coaching. This is the difference between each of these. Now, I think we have got to know quite a bit of information. 6 plus 4 to 5 other terms, right? Now, this is the basis for us to understand the 4 pillars of education, which actually was proposed by Jacqueline Delors, and she actually found this out after a lot of research and behavioral analysis, study, and research. She proposed this because she was made the commissioner of education under UNESCO. And it was in 1990 that she came up with these 4 pillars of education. We actually did 3 things now. One was to go through the discovery mode ourselves by solving the CryptoQuip. And the second part is understanding different terms and knowing different terms. Second part. The third part is understanding each of the different terms, right? So this is the basis of understanding the 4 pillars of education. I think Elvis has raised his hand. Do you have a query?
Kavita, like what was the base background for this particular report, the 4 pillars? Like, can you give us a little scenario about that?
Sure. I can give you a little scenario.
And like, is it being implemented, or how is it, being applied in our education system? Anything on that?
Absolutely. I'll give the context.
Uh-huh.
I'll also let you know why I chose this topic, something that has made my mind wonder about these things.
Okay.
So UNESCO is an international organization which works for economic and social development across the world. It is commissioned by the UNO. We know that it's a fact. And they had to put some standardized formulations for international education standards, right?
Okay.
And they really observed that the standards of education, especially at the elementary level, were getting diluted a little. And there was so much of confusion about what exactly they had to bring in the system of education. Some countries had it sorted, like Finland and even Japan. And some countries were still progressing towards finding out what is the best combination of imparting education in their schools.
Mm-hmm.
So to decode this, they had to come up with some policy or a framework. And they commissioned Jacqueline Delors to be doing this. And that's how these 4 pillars, which are the framework that have come up, right?
Okay. Guys,
So
if you have something to ask, please go ahead. And if you are inquisitive about something, you're curious to know about something with regard to this report, the 4 pillars, please go ahead and you can ask Kavita.
Okay.
Sure,
So
we will do that as the session progresses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to ask something, Meenu?
No, we will do that as the session progresses.
Okay, great. So this is one part of it. And then now you know that there is a new education policy which also has a formative assessment and a cumulative assessment and various levels of skill building and testing them. And we have changed from marks to CGPA and all that, right? So that's one of the reasons why, because they had certain challenges and conflicts in the way children were developing themselves and in the way schools were forcing their students towards marks-oriented development. Now they wanted a holistic development of students, and that is why these changes had become, to be. NEP is the latest version, but even before that, we had all these, thoughts behind forming the education policy. Okay, so now I would like to get straight into what is 4 pillars of education. These are the guiding principles of teaching and education, and it is intended to develop a student not just to have a big mind or a brain, but also a big heart. So that is what holistic development is all about. Now, yes, our education policy has made it mandatory for students to go through some kind of life skills training. But these 4 pillars are very thoughtful and insightful. So I have a little, deliberation about these 4 pillars. As you saw in the poster, can someone recollect what were the 4 pillars from the poster? Elvis had created a very beautiful poster. Does someone recollect what it was about?
It is about learn to know, learning to know, learning to do, learning to be, learning to live together.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Merin. Yes. So learning to know is not just the knowledge that we cram from textbooks, which helps us to crack exams, which is essential, but there are also other essentials, and each of these components, learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, learning to be, all the 4 are complementary to each other. They don't stand alone as a learning process. This is what I'm trying to drive home. Now, learning to know. It is better to know how to learn than to know. Isn't it? So this is where the first statement that I made. When we have hip pocket skills, it differentiates us from others. It is a skill that helps us to handle a situation instantaneously or gives us the presence of mind. Now I'll give you a little context of why I am very keen on imparting this kind of a session. I train a lot in corporates as well as in education institutions. I interact with children of various demographics extensively. And I have observed both these different sectors, okay, the corporate people and also the children. Now, do you realize that it is these children who are going to move forward in life and take these various positions as a job or a career? Now, this is where we catch them young and see that they are prepared to face that something that comes in future. Now, there is a term, it is a military term called VUCA, V-U-C-A. I'm not sure if you have heard of it, but in corporate trainings, we actually talk a lot about this VUCA. VUCA is actually an acronym which stands for 4 different words. V stands for volatility. That means the changes that keep happening. U is for uncertainty. That means we cannot predict everything that can happen in future. C is for complexity. Not everything is simple to break down, but there are things which are very complex. Sometimes we use the term rocket science. A is for ambiguity. Ambiguity means there is no clarity about things. This happens all the time on the battlefield with the soldiers. And that is why this is a military term. And they are prepared to handle VUCA situations on the battlefield. Now, even for us as children, we were prepared with skills because we had a lot of people around us with whom we interacted. We grew up in extended families. or probably at least one more sibling, and maybe grandparents with us. But this generation that I see, at least 40% of the families are devoid of senior members' presence in the family, or a lot of children are single children. So they have a limited interaction with people outside or inside, and there is not much of a concept of sharing with people. They do not know how to share their room. They do not know how to share and care their friends. So I see this trend of children developing into self-centered human beings. And that pained me to some extent, but I felt I can bring about this change. So that is why when I interact with students and teachers, I always bring up these 4 pillars. Now, these 4 pillars are very simple. Just, there is no rocket science to understand these sentences.
So, like Kavita, like this is like, because of nuclear families and all also, right? These days.
Probably, yes. But there could be various other factors.
Okay.
That could be one of the factors.
Okay. And the
Because
V in the VUCA stood for? The V?
VUCA is volatility,
Volatility. Okay.
uncertainty. C is for complexity. A is for ambiguity.
But like just an insight, like I felt like sharing, like the syllabus, the way it is designed, the exam, the way it is taken nowadays in the education system, it does not prepare you for uncertainty, right? Like you know, okay, this is the syllabus, the question is asked from here. And if there is an out of syllabus question, then it is a googly, and then the students score less.
Absolutely. You got the point straight, bang on, Elvis. Now, we are the change makers. We can bring about a little bit of, insight into what you just shared, and probably challenge ourselves. Not many teachers want to challenge themselves and develop themselves because they have a set pattern of delivering the lessons, and they prepare for the lesson plan, they deliver the lesson plan, there they do a good job. But are the students prepared to face the future? Now, that's a big question. Now, that is where these 4 pillars come in and the VUCA situation comes in. And that is why it is important for a teacher, adhyapaka or upadhyaya, to become a drishta, become a visionary, and see how they can actually help their students. So I'm going to spare a few minutes talking about this learning, the 4 pillars. Learning to know is, it is better to know how to learn than just know things. And learning to do is to learn, and not to do is really not to learn, right? Unless you don't really implement, don't take action in what you have learned, it doesn't make sense. So we have to encourage them to do and take action. The third one is learning to live together. This is what I was talking about. There is so much of passive response when, they see a conflict or a situation in which they have to rise up to the occasion. They do not know what to do because of the passive engagement on social media, or it could be anything. Or sometimes parents are very protective. They don't allow their children to take risks. Now, children should be allowed to take risks to develop themselves. Next, it is about learning to be. Learning to be, again, is about taking risks. Unless they are put through challenges and allowed to go through the discovery mode, it is very difficult for them to learn to be. To be is realizing your own potential, utilizing the merits that you have embedded in yourself. There is a very beautiful article also, which I will share with Elvis, and you can also go through that. It talks extensively about all these 4 pillars. Now, it is important for us to, conceptualize our lessons or teaching methodology to inculcate all these things which I was talking about. It should help them and make them ready mentally and emotionally to face uncertainties in their lives. or to figure out clarity in situations where there is ambiguity. And if there is something complex, there are two ways. They should be able to break it down and make it simple and tackle it, or they must improve their brain capabilities to handle the complex levels of situations. When I train people in corporates, they are brilliant technically. However, they face a challenge when they have to manage their technical learning as well as people handling, as well as real life situations. Even to find a room or cook for themselves, they struggle. They haven't learned, they haven't understood that survival skills are very important. So these are simple things that made me delve deeper and find out what is actually happening. Right?
Kavita, but I have
Yes,
a question
yes.
here.
Yes,
Like,
please.
okay, now this is the objective and this is the outcome that we are looking at. Okay, like they should be able to welcome uncertainties. They should be able to handle complex situation when there are uncertainties and unseen things like corona. If something happens in life, okay, they
Yes.
need to be able to handle that. But as
Very
teachers, is there any particular tool or some exercise or something in very specific that can be done in order to inculcate these qualities in them?
Thank you so much for that question.
Mhm.
Yes, so it all boils down to what can I do about it? What is in it for me as a teacher?
Mhm.
Okay, so the teachers can actually explore various ways. They should be adventurous. They should show their, to teacher students or wards that it is good to take risks. And it'll be nice if they talk about stories of people who have taken risks and kind of overcome challenges, their own personal stories, personal situations. All these will really, really help. And the next generation, which is coming up, will have a lot more of uncertainty because of the technological advancements that are happening. So all that we can do is we cannot predict what professions they will be in, probably. There will be many new professions which we wouldn't have heard of. However, we can help them to gain the necessary skills or building their mental muscle or the emotional muscle to cope up with all this. How to do that? Put yourself through challenges, read about different people, which is something that is lacking. We don't really read about people. We only read, scientific facts and the textbook material that is provided to us. But then you should be able to correlate about people's experiences and then see how it technically fits into what we can learn and put ourselves through. So I have given you terms. I want you to research a lot about all these terms and find out how you can really bring in these changes.
Kavita, do you have any exercise or something which post session the teachers can, there is something to work on or something they will have to introspect? Do we have something like that?
Okay, so there are a lot of questionnaires available, self-assessments available on the internet. You can go through some of them, like probably take a communication skills assessment for yourself, or see how you are on the assertiveness scale, because what you are, your say matters, what you say matters, and it matters a lot to the children that you're dealing with. So it'll be nice if you can figure out some, assessments like this. And I will also share 1 or 2 assessment questionnaires with Elvis. He can probably pass it on to all the attendees here. It will help you to, think on all those parameters that are mentioned there in the assessments as well. And one, of course, you can also test yourself as to where your emotional quotient is and see how you can develop your emotional intelligence. And when we do it as teachers, it helps the students as well. Now, pinning back to the statement that we actually deciphered from the, crypto quip, I want one of you to read out that crypto quip, and then you can ask your questions now from all the material that I just shared with.
Great.
So to summarize everything, you cannot serve from an empty vessel. You need to be full yourself. And that is what I'm urging the teachers to do. Practice taking risks and develop yourself in various ways. Please do the research and then put yourself through some risk taking and talk about all that to your students. I hope I have kind of covered a couple of insights with you all, something that has made me think through a lot of things. And with this, I think I'm open to questions now. Please go ahead.
Yes, guys, anyone has any questions? Misha, Shekhar, Rajni, Veronica, Akila, anything you would like to ask that is related to education, related to students, related to our education system, what's happening latest?
So I have a question, maybe not completely related to this thing, but kind of what Elvis said. So if I have to train teachers on, so I want to train teachers on all of these happenings in the industry. So if I have to train them on NEP, what could be the pinpoint thing that I could focus on?
Okay, train the teachers or the students?
Teachers.
Teachers, okay. So you want to know how you can empower and equip the teachers to be able to impart those skills to the students also, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Akila, that's a nice question. And I'm sure you're someone who has been training teachers. So you can actually take them through certain activities which challenge them physically, mentally, and emotionally, and help them to, kind of break down the code and ask them to discuss about it and then talk about their inferences. This could be a modality. However, when I train teachers, they already know about Bloom's taxonomy, Kolb's cycle, and things like that. So that is theoretical, right? Now, when you put them, even multiple intelligence for that matter, right? We know all these are the pillars of pedagogy, that is teaching methodologies. However, we ask them to do that. I have seen B.Ed or even writing tasks or reading tasks or whatever it is. So something like that can be implemented with respect to imparting these life skills, risk-taking abilities, facing uncertainties, and also discuss about this, right? Even a blindfold treasure hunt or a blindfold obstacle crossing with someone guiding you verbally that you hear but you don't see, but you cross a pair of obstacles from point A to point B. And that experience sharing after they have done it is a very beautiful discovery that they go through, right?
Okay.
So you can actually think of, there are various activities on the internet. I just shared one activity right now. These things I have tried, it also works. So put them through these activities and ask them to think about it, process it, and then discuss. Now that's the discovery which I'm talking about.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that question, Akila.
So Akila, basically, all our training tools, what we have now, activities, vagera. Okay, that same things you can do with the students as well. So same thing you follow, you do an activity, you have an illustration, you have a debrief, you ask them what they have learned.
Yeah, like the point is, Elvis, now teachers already know what NEP is. So what more can we give them is my thing. Like theoretically, they are teaching day in, day out. So what is something that they don't know that we can actually make our session on? So that is my actual question.
See, NEP now, like these 4 pillars, they're just the objectives. Like when we go for a training, we look at 2 things, objectives and outcomes. So
Hmm.
NEP has just given you the objective, like, no,
Mhm.
this is what we are looking at in the students. Now,
Hmm.
I as a teacher or I as a trainer need to now match, okay, which all activities do I have? What all things do I have in my toolkit, which relate
Okay.
and which can drive this particular objective to get that outcome.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so basically work on the toolkit, collect activities, games, icebreakers, energizers, and draw these teachings in your class.
Sure, we'll try to figure
And
it out.
you know, kids will learn more than adults, corporate professionals.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is more appealing to kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Adult learners, you have to give them lecture. Kids, this is like, you know, a super hit.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. If I have any doubt, I will just ping you on a personal window, Kavita ji or Elvis.
Yes,
Sure,
yes.
sure.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. That's nice, Elvis, for adding on and breaking it down. So this activity which I was talking about, crossing an obstacle path blindfolded, actually helps you to discover your inner potential in many ways.
Kavita,
And this is-
Shekhar has raised his hands.
Oh,
Shekhar has
okay.
a
Yeah,
question.
I see that. Yes, Shekhar, what is your question? Please come.
Ma'am, I have two questions. First, when the children get like sort of bored from a lengthy lecture, so what are one or two good energizers that we can use in the class? And second, like I've heard some of the tools like Mentimeter also. Can you please tell about that also, please?
Okay. So Mentimeter is a tech tool for which you need a laptop and a projector. You just go to mentimeter.com and then you generate a question and give them the code. There is a 6-digit code or 8-digit code, something like that. And they have to log in on their systems. They need a gadget for that. And they can post their responses to your question. But in a physical classroom, we ask them to raise their hand and ask them what they understood or what is the answer to this question or something like that, right? But this
Shekhar,
happens digitally.
sorry to intervene. Shekhar, are you in that 10 days program?
Yes, sir, I am there.
In that, all these things will be covered.
Wonderful, right?
Sure, thank
So
you.
for
Energizers,
Mentimeter, you need a
icebreakers.
gadget. For them to respond and interact with the question that you've given, they need a gadget. And what was your next question, Shekhar?
Yeah, that only that Elvis sir has answered. Like it will be covered.
It will be covered in the program. Okay. So this is a foundational insight session as to what we can think about. It is some pre-work that we do probably to the session that Elvis has designed. And I'm glad that we are able to do it this way. Consolidating the insights that we get and helping us to launch a lot of thinking on our own side. Welcome, Shekhar. Nice. I'm glad that you raised the question and asked for clarification. Please develop questioning skills with your students. It's very, very important. Create a curious mind in the future generation.
Basically, even Shekhar, for you, you'll have to develop your toolkit. Okay. So n number of things and icebreakers, energizers related to each topic. Okay. And then wherever you feel, you try to use that. And so there is a lot of tools like you mentioned, Mentimeter, there is Survey Monkey, and so many n number of things are there. Okay.
Even post-its, just put post-its and ask them to put it on the whiteboard.
Yes,
that will also work.
In a classroom, I think that is better. This is
Yes.
okay for online.
Correct.
But classroom, you should use post-its and chart papers, felt pens, and so many things.
Okay. Shekhar, thanks for asking this question because it shows that you're really interested and you want to make a difference and you want to make it very effective. I really love that. Okay. So Elvis,
Yes,
you have
I guess we have one last minute. If anyone has anything to ask, please ask. Maybe one last intervention. Veronica, Rajni, Shekhar. Okay, I guess there are no more questions. So thank you very much, Kavita, for taking your time out. I know there was some emergency, but still you have made it for this session. So a very big thanks to you. And guys, if you need any support, you can connect with Kavita. I will share her details. Is that fine, Kavita, if I share your contact? If anyone
Yes,
has any query or something,
sure,
doubt.
sure. They can.
Okay, yes, right. Fantastic.
You
So
can
thank you,
share my
everyone.
email ID and we can interact through the mail.
Sure. Definitely. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. It was a great
In
session.
fact, Elvis, you can also share that article which I shared with you.
Yeah, definitely. I will share that.
4 pillars
Yes.
of education.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Thanks, Kavita.
Right.
Thanks,
It was
Rajni,
great
for
doing this,
speaking.
and you're doing good work, Elvis. Thanks.